Hi everyone, it's Vicky here, designing for a new term with Hip Kit Club. I'm super excited to be starting a new term, and I'm still designing with the August kit. Hopefully the December one isn't too far away, a couple of weeks I think. My assignment for this week is just to use the main kit and cardstock kit only. So I'm just using plain white cardstock, so technically this is the main kit as most people have white cardstock in their stash anyway. So I'm starting off with this gorgeous Truly Grateful zigzag paper, and I'm just cutting out some of the zigzags in different colours and patterns. And I cut through that a bit. The last two I cut around the scalloped edge, and I want to use these on my background, and you'll see me fiddling a bit. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with them. I move them around, up and down, over to the side. So I just left that process in so that you can see what was going through my head. So I've just cut them smaller here. And I'm thinking about putting them a bit more messily. I try spreading them. I'm not feeling it at the moment. So I just left it in so that you can see my process. But in a minute, we're going to change up entirely what I do. I also tried it over here on the side, which I quite like, but I wasn't quite sure how I was going to work in the embellishments if it was over there. And eventually, off camera, I decided to place them quite bunched up together like this. Now, I'm only sticking down the very edge of them that you'll see here because I'm going to sew them on. So you'll just watch me do that for a second. They're all bunched up here, so it kind of sort of almost resembles the paper again, having them connected, but this way just makes it a little bit more interesting. The zigzags are all not quite together. So you'll see there what I mean. And in a second, off camera, I'm going to stitch through some of them. And I use a mix of yellow and pink thread to do that. So that's already quite busy, so I don't want to cover that up too much, but I do want to add some embellishments. So I went through all of the Truly Grateful embellishments because obviously everything in this kit matches. So whatever I'm going to use is going to look great. On these big embellishments here, the one with the pumpkin and also the big flower cluster on the left, I do cut the white off. And that's just because I just felt that it was a bit too intrusive on top of the zigzags that I already put there. So I don't always cut these off, but sometimes I do. And also, you know, the background is white as well, so that would have hidden the top, but I just wanted it to not be so intrusive on the colour at the bottom. So you're going to see me cut those out. I don't think I skipped through this, unfortunately, but it gives me a chance to tell you about the photo. So this is my youngest niece, and she is super cute, but she lost her front teeth. This picture is a year ago, I think, and she lost her front teeth at the same time. So she looks really cute when she smiles on this picture, and she's just got her school uniform on. This is the end of the day, I would imagine. She looks a bit, her tie looks a bit scruffy. So yeah, she's just got that cute little face. So the theme is back to school and fall, and I decided to do both. It's sort of got a fall theme because it's got the pumpkin, and back to school because she's in her school uniform. So I'm also cutting the white off of those two trees there. You'll see that happening. I'm leaving it on the clock, but yeah, taking it off the trees. And you'll see I used the pretty little studio frames behind the picture. Those were designed by Kim Watson, and they just go perfectly to frame the photograph. A little bit of gold in there. So I'm just doing a little cluster down here. I think in a moment I use a butterfly, which I also cut the white off of. There we go. Just to bring the two clusters together. This page is very cluster heavy, but still seeing the zigzags that I wanted us to see, because that's sort of the focal point of the page, really. So I'm just layering up. I cut those flowers off of the pretty little studio frames just because I can use those later. They were going to be covered, so I don't want to waste them. Now this is very Missy Woodin-esque. I'm using some coloured thread just to add a bit of extra texture in there. Because I haven't got any mixed media on here, I just wanted to add something a bit extra. So I'm adding some pink, the same colour pink and yellow as I used on the zigzags. Some pink there under the pumpkin. And I put some yellow over on the flower cluster on the left, and I also put some yellow underneath the clock just to tie all that in. Excuse my hair. I'm just back from a trip to the US. I went to Boise in Idaho, and so I've got travel hair. I couldn't wait to get back and do some scrapping. Actually, I was having withdrawal, major withdrawal. I was away for a week. So I didn't scrap the first night I came back because it was a Saturday and I wasn't back till 6 p.m. But by Sunday lunchtime, I was scrapping again. My husband said, "You can't stay away, can you?" But it's great because he watches football while I'm doing it. So we're all happy. So I put some foam under a few things there, under the photo and under some of the embellishments, just to raise them off the page. And I'm just sticking everything down now. The cluster there, I stick the butterfly just in the centre with the wings slightly folded up just to add some dimension. And I'm just curling some of the edges of the flowers and leaves in that cluster on the left just to add a bit of texture and dimension there. So some stickers from the Truly Grateful Puffy Sticker Collection, and that's where I'm getting my title, which is going to be Sunshine. She's a little ray of sunshine, so I think that's quite apt. And that's going to go there, tuck in under the pumpkin. I try out a couple of other puffy stickers which I don't use, but you can see the title fits in quite well there. Okay, another heart down the bottom there in those pink and yellow tones. We're getting near to the end. Okay, so I try to add a sun in there from the puffy stickers, but it's just a little bit too bulky, so I decided to cut one out of this paper from Truly Grateful. And I cut around that, and then I just trim the edge off and tuck it under the photo. And that just sort of pulls in the sunshine title. Just there. Okay, and I think that is it for this layout, just sticking down a couple of bits and pieces so they don't fall off, and I'm happy with that. Yep, just trying a couple more things, but they don't work. So that's the final layout. I hope it inspires you to use the main kit, and we'd love to see what you're doing on the forum. Please do feel free to drop in your layouts for us to look at and comment on. And here are some close-ups. They just show you the stitching and what I've done with the embellishments. So thank you so much for watching. This has been Vicki for Hip Kit Club, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.